Now, the old inlays way of doing inlays, it was a big pain in the butt because you had to make, take this, chop out this, put the other crap in, all that kind of good stuff. And but they pretty much simplified it with pasting with and without air. And so I want to kind of go over doing that and the different uses you can actually do with these changes in doing inlays and stuff like that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a pattern of something, and we'll kind of use this as kind of our basis for the starting point on this here. And let me go ahead and grab a darker material so you can actually see what it is that I'm doing. And I'm going to draw out just a simple pattern that we can actually use. And that should just about do what I want it to do. Just a simple kind of curve shape. And so we have this design that we've actually created for this inlay, and I'm going to take a copy of this, copy it, and let me back off here, Control V to paste. Let's bring this up into the air, and I'm going to stack this about 7 or 8 times, pretty much the more the merrier, and keep on pasting until you're happy pretty much. But you want it anything more than 5, 7 plus is optimal for this. And pretty much the more you stack it, the smoother the center section of the stack is actually going to be. So let's go ahead and go ahead and select this, and we are going to go ahead and take our smooth tool and we're going to smooth this. There's 3 times. Now I'm going to take my selection tool and I'm going to drop this down to near the center and bring up the bottom to the center. So I'm just selecting out that center piece there. Control C, Control V, and let's bring this up off the ground. What's up, Jimmy? Thanks for stopping in, man. Sorry I started late there. So we have this thing that we have created here. Let's kind of zoom in here on this actual shape, and after I've smoothed it 3 times, it turned from this to this here. And this is what I have on my clipboard right now, so I can sit here and paste this kind of over and over again. Let's go ahead up to our solid board here, and hit my tilde, tab, rotate, tilde, tab to get it in position. Let's go ahead and put it in there. I'm going to hold shift and click. Now this gives us these different options here, and the one we want to uncheck is the paste with air. Let's go ahead and check, and as you can tell, it pasted it right into the wall, right nice and flush there. Now this could be used for like just standard inlays and different patterns that you can actually put up on the wall. But we can take it a little bit further by bringing it over here. Let me go ahead and rotate this back down to a flat surface. And let's paste it without air into this healed earth section that I've created over here. And this is just a selected box, and then I use my heal tool on the box, and you have to be underground for this to actually happen, so make sure you're under the ground in the process. I'm going to bring this up so I can see it. I'm going to hit tab, and then I'm going to mirror it, or at the same time I can also do a Control V, shift click, and now we have this new mirror option, so you can actually mirror it like this. and this gives us the new ability to actually mirror based on these points. Then I can go back and actually move this around as I am wanting to put it in here. And I'm going to butt this up right next to my other. Let's bring this down and paste. Now, as you can tell here, the way I had this thing pasted, it literally cut out chunks and stuff like this. Now I can come over here to my selection tool. I can grab that one, Control Copy, Control Paste, bring this up to where I can see it. I hit V to mirror, and you can see that if I move this into that position, it's probably going to like totally destroy that particular voxel. Or I can put it in like this just to do a exact duplicate mirror of it. Alright, now say we want to close this gap up. We want to actually bring this voxel in, so we actually get a smooth arch in here. You can actually take your paint tool now and paint that voxel and clear that up. That's one way to do it. Or you can take a microvoxel and drop it right into that point to give it more of a sharp edge from what you're actually seeing here. So let's go ahead and actually implement putting in a microvoxel string, or a anti-voxel would probably actually do better. So let's grab an anti-voxel. And if you're not sure how to make how to get a hold of an anti-voxel, there is a video for that in my tutorial section. If you hit Control V, let's paste this down so we can actually see this. And they recently updated our little arrow tools here. You can see when you're working with smaller objects, they've given you a little bit more of a gap to play with so you can actually see the voxels there. But I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to pull this up to the very top, and I'm going to drop it down up to where that point is at the very top of it. And let's bring this down. I'm going to click. This will allow me to get a sharp edge on this inlay, and you can actually use this in various different points all over the place if you wanted a little bit more pizzazz in your actual build or something like that. And let's put it right there. It's pretty close. And I can come down here at the bottom and do pretty much the same thing. This, and let's drop one right there. This is how you can...
he looks like a little insane drunken angel.
Trevian, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. But this is one way that you can kind of like manipulate and play with your inlays to get them to look the way you want to. And after you've got it like this in the healed earth, I can literally select this area, do a Control C to copy, and let's get to the back side of my wall here so we can actually have a clean surface. Let's do a Control V. Let's hit tilde. Let's rotate this so that I can actually play with it a little bit more. Let's bring this out. And you can see that selected area is the only thing that I have on my palette now, and that's from that healed earth section. Let's bring this up onto the wall. Let's push it in and click. So now we have a inlay that we've kind of modified and actually set it up the way we want. We can also use this as an actual, like new section, or we can create like archways and different designs in our actual build and put them in there kind of pretty much how we want to. Definitely very good for custom builds of something individually that you want to actually make on your piece of property. And so there we go. We got like a custom archway here just from sitting there kind of tinkering around and playing with it. And as you can tell, you can see that little or the anti-voxel that I've used to actually bring this out here. We can actually select that hit the delete key, and it kind of modifies the little shape of it there, or you can just leave it in, do a Control Z, and I can just go in there and paint that up so you don't see it. And that's one way to kind of deal with the different swapping between, you know, different things that you're actually doing to modify it. Alright, so that's pretty much everything in a nutshell when it comes down to the new way we do inlays and different various uses that you can actually do with this. You can also take possibly different shapes and manipulate this design as well. We can do custom manipulations with it. So let's go in here and let me just grab something from my wall here. Let's take this triangle. Do a Control C. And I can come over here, Control V. And let me rotate this a little bit so we can kind of play with it. I think that will pretty much do. Okay, so I can take this little triangle shape here and I can drop this down and use it pretty much just like I did with the anti-voxel to do the pulling. And as you can tell, it doesn't pull quite as much just because you're pulling from the corner of a voxel instead of the whole thing. Different sizes of your voxel and how you're actually using it, you can kind of custom fit that little pull that you're actually looking for based on what it is that you're actually pasting around it. Once you get it into position, you can copy the whole thing. It's going to copy this little piece as well, and it's going to paste it in there. But then you just go back over with your paintbrush and turn that into whatever material it is that you're implanting it into. Or you can just delete it out.
He looks like a little insane drunken angel.
Hadouken! Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So that's pretty much everything I can think of for inlays at this point in time.